material and solutions. Let's know about states of matter: solvent, solute, and solution. Soluble and insoluble substances with examples. Method of separation: sedimentation, decantation, filtration, evaporation. Matter is all around us. Matter is defined as anything that has mass and takes up space. Solid, liquid, and gas. Everything you see, touch, and even breathe is made of matter. Matter is made of atoms, and the arrangement of the atoms determines whether the substance is solid, liquid, or gas. The particles of ice, water, and steam are identical but arranged differently. Do you know? Water is the only substance on Earth that naturally exists in all three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Change of state. Matter can change from one state to another if heated or cooled. If ice, a solid, is heated, it changes to water, a liquid. This change is called melting. The change from liquid to solid is called freezing or solidifying. It is the opposite process to melting. If water is heated, it changes to steam, a gas. This change is called boiling. Water boils when it reaches its boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius. This is the temperature at which water turns to steam. Steam is an invisible gas. When it reaches the lid, it cools back to a liquid. Even without boiling water in a kettle, some of the water changes to gas. This is evaporation. The process of evaporation is a continuous one. Water that is present as a gas in the air cools down and changes into tiny drops of liquid water. This change from gas to liquid is called condensation. What are solids, liquids, and gases? How can water be a solid, a liquid, and a gas? Why does my ice cream melt in the sun? Why does water start bubbling in the kettle when it gets hot? What change of state takes place when a substance melts? Solute, solvent, and solutions. The solvent makes up the largest amount of a solution. It is the substance into which another substance dissolves. Water here is the solvent. The solute makes up a smaller amount of a solution. It is the substance that dissolves into another substance. Sugar here is the solute. The more solute there is in a solution, the higher the concentration is. Example: the more sugar solute added to water solvent, the higher the concentration of the solution will be. Water is known as the universal solvent as it can dissolve many substances. Solutions are mixtures that look like one substance. It is the mixture formed when a solute dissolves in a solvent. Examples: the air we breathe is a solution of a number of gases. The fluids in our bodies are solutions that carry all kinds of essential nutrients and other materials. Fizzy drinks are a solution of a gas, carbon dioxide, in water. The bubbles that come out when you open the bottle are actually carbon dioxide. The substances that form solutions when they are mixed with water are called soluble substances. Some substances that are soluble in water are salt, soap, orange juice, coffee, milk, etc. The substances that do not form solutions when they are mixed with water are called insoluble substances. Some substances that are insoluble in water are sand, oil, chalk powder, mud, wax, sawdust, etc. A miscible mixture is a mixture of two liquids that completely combines together to form one solution. For example, milk and water, lemon juice and water, etc. An immiscible mixture is a mixture of two liquids that doesn't mix completely. These mixtures, like oil and water, will never mix together fully. The lighter liquid floats on the top of the heavier liquid. Oil being lighter floats on the surface of water. Do you know? If you pour a handful of salt into a full glass of water, the water level will actually go down rather than overflowing the glass. The salt molecules take up all the spaces between water molecules. Do you know? Carbon beverages like Coca-Cola, Sprite, etc. are made by dissolving carbon dioxide gas into liquid at high pressure. Saturated solution. In this experiment, the solution reaches the point at which it cannot dissolve more solute sugar and the sugar you add sinks to the bottom in solid form. This is now a saturated solution. When no more solute can dissolve in a solution, we say it is a saturated solution. An unsaturated solution is one where it is possible to dissolve more solute in the solvent. Methods of separation. Separation of soluble substances. Evaporation is the best way for separating a mixture solution of a soluble solid and a solvent. The process involves heating the solution until the solvent evaporates, turns into gas, leaving behind the solid residue. Salt is obtained from seawater by this process. Seawater evaporates due to the heat of the sun, and salt is left behind. Here is a simple example involving a mixture of salt and water. Solution of water and salt. Solution is heated to boiling point for the liquid to evaporate. Solid particles of salt remains after liquid evaporates. Separation of insoluble substances. Insoluble substances can be separated from a liquid by the processes of filtration, sedimentation, and decantation. Filtration. This process involves the use of a filter paper placed in a filter funnel. The funnel is placed in a beaker and the mixture of water and sand is poured into the funnel. The liquid part drains through the filter paper into the beaker, leaving the solid sand particles trapped on the filter paper. In filtration, the liquid part collected is called the filtrate and the solid bit that remained on the filter paper is called the residue. An example of such a mixture is sand and water. Filtration is used in water treatment plants, where water from the river is filtered to remove solid particles. Sedimentation and decantation. If the mixture of insoluble impurities, for example, sand and water, is allowed to stand undisturbed in a beaker, after some time, the sand settles down at the bottom of the container as sediments. This process is called sedimentation. Clean water obtained from the process of sedimentation can then be poured out into a separate container without disturbing the sediments. This process is called decantation. In a nutshell, a solution is a special kind of mixture. Like all mixtures, it consists of two or more substances mixed together. A solution is made up of a solvent such as water in which one or more solutes have been dissolved. In a solution, the solute looks as if it disappears into the solvent. This is because the particles of the solute and the solvent become closely mixed. There are many kinds of solutions, but the most well-known ones are mixtures of a solid and a liquid, such as sugar and water. Not all substances dissolve in water. Those that dissolve are called soluble substances. Those that do not dissolve are called insoluble substances. A soluble solid can be separated by heating so that the solvent evaporates. The dry solute will be left behind. An insoluble solid can be separated from a liquid by filtration, sedimentation, and decantation. Key words: identical, exactly alike. Concentration, the amount of a substance solute present in a given volume of solvent or solution. Residue, left over,